I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys. I have restarted this race a couple of times. There's something in my brain that makes me a perfectionist, and I think that's why I hate this track so much, is because I I can't handle it. Back to the grid. What happened? Well, qualifying was going pretty decently well for us. P9, I thought that was a good enough buffer margin, and no, we dropped all the way down to P17. And I knew we needed to take some grid drop penalties, and so I figured, you know what, we're at the back of the grid already, let's just move down a few more places. Why not? Let's just take the penalty on the racetrack that I hate, and that'll set us up for racetracks I'm more comfortable with, like Austin coming up soon. Hometown for me anyway. So yeah, that's why we're here. I don't have high races, or I don't have high hopes for this race, so let's just get it underway. And yeah, I have restarted a couple times. I'm sorry. I've tried not to do that like most of this campaign, but this one just bothers me. But lights out and away we go here. One good thing about the back of the grid is you can see exactly where everyone's where they are braking. Sorry. Try to make a few places on that corner, and we succeed as we're kind of squeezing out Pierre Gasly. Lindblad's going to squeeze us out into the wall. We go easy on the brakes. Lindblad on our inside. I knew he was going to do that. Let's try to go to his inside now. As Mark said, pick your battles carefully as we're right in the danger zone. No, I'm not not into the castle section. Nope. There is no moves happening in that section here in Baku. Not even on the was a rookie Bortoletto. And here's the corner I hate the most. The brakes lock up so easily. There is technically a place you can brake safely, but yeah, it is not easy to find. As Bortoletto is trying to squeeze us out. And I brake because I don't know how much he's going to squeeze us out. As I make him take the inside line. Oh, a bit of an oversteer here for Bortoletto is going to give us a great run off the corner. As you can see here at this racetrack, they actually have blue back marker boards or braking point boards. That kind of tells you where you need to brake, give or take just a couple of inches. But accelerating on this track is also not easy. And we definitely want to be careful. We don't want a Charles Leclerc moment there in the castle section. Oh, yeah, I'm stupid. Another oversteer for Lance Stroll. It's going to give us a run. I am so glad I lifted. We totally would have been in the wall had I not lifted for that corner. So yeah, I made sure in practice that I got comfortable at least somewhat with this circuit. And so I don't feel super uncomfortable with it. Like I said, I've restarted twice, I guess. One was because I jumped the start, and that was just a dumb mistake. I can't believe I did that. That and the paddles, like to my credit, the paddles on my wheel are a little they have a lot of tension, and so the lights were staying on for a very long time, and the paddles do have a tendency to push back after being held for a while. So I give myself a little bit of credit for that. As Ocon and Piastri, what is Piastri doing down here? Good night, as we had some oversteer into the corner, but we were able to save it as our teammate loses out 2 positions. Ugh. So if I don't commentate much on this race, it's because I'm really trying to focus. I could probably brake a little bit later on down in that corner for sure, but I also don't want to risk it. Just accelerate up in the hill as we're going to get a rundown on our teammate now. We're making some decent progress. If you're wondering what happened to the Mad Ring, go into the shorts section of my channel and you'll find exactly what happened to the Mad Ring. The entire Mad Ring race is wrapped up in that one short, so yeah, let that speak for you. Street Circuit, maybe one of my new least favorites. As hopefully now we can use battery and get a run down on our teammate, but he's going to have straight mode as well, so we're not super duper close. As Sergio Perez, our teammate, trying to look down on Esteban Ocon in the Haas. And their fights are going to help us catch up just a little bit here. As now we're going to get the run down on Esteban Ocon and our teammate. As this could get dangerous. 3 wide into this corner. Oh, no. Sergio Perez backed out of it. And Ocon's trying to force his way around us again, but we're going to say no sorry Bob. 2 places up into P15 for us. So I'm rather okay with that. This race is going pretty decently for us. Like I said, we have a brand new engine in the back, which I do think was a smart strat play. I don't like this circuit already as it is. We were down in P17 as it was, and rather take the grid drop penalty on a circuit I'm not comfortable with and lose out a few places than take the grid drop penalty on a circuit that, you know, I could potentially take pole on. So like the Netherlands, man, that race was incredible. If you have not seen the Netherlands race, which actually I happen to know, not many of you have, go check it out. It was an incredible race. Y'all have seen the short for it. It's my second most viewed short, is the Netherlands race short. So check out the full video. It was incredible. A lot of action happening. So yeah. Strangely, oh, a bit of a lockup there. My headset is crackling down in the main straight, the first corner, but it doesn't do it anywhere else. I don't care, Mark. I do not care. I am focusing on not wrecking the car right now. As that was a risky move on my part. Oh, the brakes are running hot. We need to be very careful on them. Oh my goodness, that was absolutely terrifying. As I will try and get the brake temps down, as that's the reason why we're locking up. So hopefully we can get them down and that won't happen anymore. But here we go. Straight line mode and battery here on Franco Colapinto. He doesn't have the speed, but we do. Free place. Barely anything as he's trying to go back around our inside. I'm going to let him. I'm going to cut him off right then and there. So we're going to use some battery down here as well. Franco Colapinto is going to get just a small bit of a run on us. As the brake temps, I think we're getting him down just a bit. They're definitely going to be hotter going into this corner, so you don't want to slam on the brakes there. You kind of just ease on them. And you can tell it seems like everyone else kind of has their older engines. I might be the only one that bothered to take a newer engine. So I'm going to back out of that. As we get real close to the behind Oscar Piastri. Oscar Piastri may have a new engine. If I can't remember where he qualified. I really didn't pay that close attention. I should. I really should. It would help my commentary out a lot if I paid more attention. But here we go on the run to Oscar Piastri. He's got straight mode. We've got straight mode. He probably has battery and we have battery. As the engines are at max rev. That's always nerve-wracking too, is to change strategy while you're in the middle of a fight. Here we go now. We have caught up to like a lot of the rest of the pack. As Alonso in P9 is leading the way of the rest of us. Oh, that was a mistake. I made a grave error. Grave error. The car is still intact and we can make some progress, so we'll see. We were doing so well. We were doing so well. What are the tires at? Okay, could be worse. So if I just keep focus. That was, I just completely missed the braking zone and knew the brake temps were hot, so. As the young kids would say, we are cooked, chat. We are cooked. Actually, I say cooked. I don't know what they say now. Are we, I don't know. Something like that. And I try not to be all into the Gen A lingo. I'm a Gen Z. Is Lance Stroll going to peel into the pits? No, looks like he's going to stay out, so. We're about max engine revs again. At the very least, we can get Lance Stroll. If we can't get Lance Stroll, then what are we doing? I mean, it's not a huge gap to everyone else. I think we can kind of make stuff happen again. I don't know if we'll catch up to Oscar Piastri and the rest of them again, but we'll see. We'll see as the race unfolds, so. As my race engineer would tell me, there's still a long way to go in this race. And Lance Stroll is your competition, so. A lot of oversteer into that corner. Yep, that's track limits. I agree. I totally agree. Now, some of the track limits I was getting during practice and whatnot, I don't know. Lance Stroll picking some tricky braking points here. As here we go, we finally got a free run on Lance Stroll. We won't have to do any hard overtaking. So there we go. The Aston Martin, just no performance compared to our Cadillac. As we are fifth, I believe, in constructors. I think we're fifth in the constructors. So we're clearly the best of the midfield. But that's only because of me, to be honest with you, in my early performance. But the late performance is not there. There are points that, because of the way the sun is, I cannot see the racing line. I actually have to rely on the brake boards. Which, I mean, is good in my quest to not rely on the racing line forever. But I don't know. It's different for every track. This track has blue race boards where essentially you can brake safely or it's the perfect time to brake. Like at the castle section, there's a blue marker board, but that's not where you would brake. Like there's a blue marker board, that's where you want to brake. As we are beginning to catch up on the rest of the pack here. Use some battery. And we'll get a bit of a run on Liam Lawson and Arvid Lindblad actually as the teammates go fighting. Our teammates in the pits. We're going to maybe get the run on Arvid Lindblad. We'll do a bit of a late brake move. And we'll slam the door shut. Lando Norris into the pits as well. So I made another grave error. This race is just going great. I love it. As we're going to get the jump on Lance Stroll, at least. I can't believe I keep doing that. I was just talking about braking boards and whatnot. I mean, I haven't broken the car yet. I consider that a win in my book. That means we can at least get a good fast pit stop. But like I said, I hate this track. I hate it with a passion. Because I'm going to go ahead and pit now. Because I'm just losing the rears. And I can tell there's just no grip there. And I'm centimeters away from breaking this car. So we're going to have free air for an indefinite amount of time, as I think everyone is pitted at this point, except us. Here we go. Definitely a weird, it seems like just a dumb, telemetry failure to have, but you know. As now we're going to kind of catch Bortoleto and Lindblad. I'm going to lift into this corner. As they're kind of fighting. See, we're still close. I lifted like way back, and we're still close. But look how more battery we have, though, going into this straight. So we're going to get the run on Bortoleto. He's going to open the door to Lindblad, so we go 3 wide for momentarily. So we overtake Lindblad. We're still getting the run on Bortoleto. He's going to stay next to us, but we ultimately have the tires and we have the brakes. So about 3 laps to go here in the Grand Prix. And we're making some fairly steady progress. So we did this, our second stint on the first set of mediums was incredible. Like, we absolutely almost lost the car there. We absolutely cooked on those tires and made some huge progress against the cars in front, to the fact that we could essentially, like, it wasn't perfect, but we essentially undercutted Bortoleto and Lindblad because they came in for new tires, but we still have fresher tires to them, and look, now we're ahead. So it wasn't like a perfect undercut, but to where we come out ahead of them in the pits. But it was like an unintentional, like, we're going to have fresher tires. And now even I'm trying to go a bit aggressive on the braking zones as we are coming up close to Ocon and Lawson. Could we at least potentially get up into the place where we first qualified? I don't know. We'll see. 2 laps to do it when we cross the line, but Lawson and Ocon now fighting. So if they're fighting still going into the first corner, we could get a huge advantage. And we have fresher rubber than literally everyone. We are the last people to pit. I went as long as possible. It's almost down to a second on Liam Lawson. Turns out if you practice long enough, you can actually get this down. Now the other tracks I do about practice 1, because I go to college next week, I'm trying to rank out these videos to finish the season at least before I leave. I do only do practice 1, kind of get familiar with the track, as I have played this game for a while now before making these videos, so I know most of the tracks and their stuff. I'm just trying to get familiar with them on the new cars and regs. So I typically only run about practice 1 and then do quick practice for 2 and 3, and then I do qualifying. Could I have qualified better positions had I done all the practice sessions for some of these races? Oh, probably. Probably. I think this GP, though, I think qualifying was just what it was going to be. We had an old engine literally to the brink of falling apart, so I think it is what it is on this one. The Mad Ring, though, I definitely could have done so much better on. I did 1 practice of the Mad Ring because I was trying to rank out these videos so fast. So final lap, and we're close to Liam Lawson and Ocon, but we don't have much of a straight anymore to overtake them on. So at this point, it's focused on the braking zones and hope and pray we get some moves done on them. So yeah, this one I think qualifying was just what it was going to be considering the car, but I think the Mad Ring I definitely could have qualified so much better on. So I'm hoping a late breaking move, we can make a move on Ocon. He's going to go use some of the curb and more because he knew it was coming. Charles Leclerc, though, winning the Baku Grand Prix. Ever since his crash, he's been pretty comfortable with this circuit. And so he wins for Scuderia Ferrari HP. Hopefully, and he's looking to maybe make a resurgence here in the championship. But he's pretty far back from George Russell and Lando Norris. As now we're looking just to move up into the place we originally qualified. As now here's the time to do it. We have a run on Liam Lawson. He tries to squeeze us onto the wall. He taps us into the wall. Thank goodness it's the final lap, but we're not going to get the place to Liam Lawson. Shoves us into the wall. There's the checkered flag, P18. So, not horrible, but could have been way better. Sorry there, forgot I had to commentate. So Charles Leclerc wins it ahead of Max Verstappen and Kimi Antonelli, who actually lost out a place to Max Verstappen. Ultimately, we could have ran in the points. I mean, we were close to Fernando Alonso, who was running in P9. So some horrible mistakes from us. But overall, P18 could have been worse. I mean, our teammate lost out more than we did, so he lost out 4 places, and we gained. Several. I don't know. Math isn't mathy right now. I think we gained like 4 or 5 places. So, Arvid Lindblad ultimately losing out the most from P18 to 22. Lance Stroll, who took our position in P17, he lost out as well. So clearly we are faster than the rest of the field. But taking a quick look at the driver standings, Lando Norris still leads the way, but Charles Leclerc has made a huge resurgence and is now just 38 points clear of Lando Norris. So could we see a Ferrari Drivers' Championship here? Something to look out for. George Russell, the man that was leading most of the championship, has now lost out the most. Now being 46 points clear of Lando Norris and 8 points clear of Charles Leclerc. We're still P8 in the championship, and I think that's about where we're probably going to finish. Best case scenario, we pass Lewis Hamilton. But constructors-wise, McLaren, still lead the way ahead of Mercedes by 37 points, with Ferrari close behind. And we are indeed the best of the mid-pack in 5th place for constructors. I think constructors is pretty much wrapped up. Mercedes could make a comeback, and Ferrari, I guess, could make a comeback. But ultimately, that's the race. I'm sorry it wasn't much to watch. I'll definitely be cutting out a lot of this in the video. Trying to finish the season before I go off to college next week, so stay with me. I'm hoping to get out a video every day now, so from F126. But keep a lookout for the F1 Manager series. That's something I am going to keep up, because I can take that with me. So that's not going away. It just probably will back down once I start getting busy again. So thank you for joining me, and keep with me as we head out next to one more street circuit. Singapore, I believe, is next. So as we head out to Singapore, another street circuit, but one I'm a little bit more comfortable with than Baku. So please join me, hopefully in the next couple days, as we try to wrap up this series and head out to Singapore next race.